What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the Cowboys' initial 53-man roster, who got waived. I'm going to briefly talk about who I was shocked that got waived, and then I'm also going to be talking about the trade that went down today, and then also Trey Lance's interview, his first interview in the building today. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. So first off, hopping straight into it, I'm going to be talking about the Kelvin Joseph and Noah trade. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name. I remember saying it back when he got drafted, and I already know enough about Noah to where I don't have to really look at anything to know. I liked him coming out of Auburn. He was a slot cornerback, and he was going to fit that Bill Belichick mold. Brian Flores at the time was head coaching for the Miami Dolphins. He had traded Minka Fitzpatrick that year, and I believe with the 20th pick in the first round, that used that pick to spin on Noah, who came out of Auburn. Again, was a slot corner. And don't forget the Dallas Cowboys. We had lost Byron Jones in free agency to the Miami Dolphins. So Brian Flores was implementing his defensive principles. Here he had Xavier Howard, who already was a top 10, top 5 corner at that time, still is now. Then you got Byron Jones, and then you had Noah, who's going to come in as a rookie that they thought was going to come in, be a difference maker, and be able to. So that's why the Dolphins could play a lot of cover 1, cover 0 type of coverage, run a multiple style type of defense. He didn't pan out. And the reason why he probably didn't pan out is because he got drafted by Brian Flores. Brian Flores was there for about 2 years. Then you had the new regime with Mike McDaniels. Different coach, different regimes on offense and on defense. So, of course, things didn't pan out there, but Kelvin Joseph just didn't pan out with his guys, and it sucks to say, but Kelvin Joseph really was a Trey Lance equivalent of football, where they only played, Kelvin Joseph only played 24 collegiate games. He played like a half a season with LSU because then he transferred, had to sit out for a little bit, played about 12 games at Kentucky, and then has some off the field issues and everything like that. But hindsight is 2020, and I don't want to sound like I told you so type of guy, but I always am going to take the guy who has the NFL bloodline. Pick presents itself, and NFL bloodline is available, and the film checks out, which both did for Asante Samuel Jr., which, funny enough, his first career interception was against our team on Dak Prescott. But anyway, his film checked out. His dad was amazing. Asante Samuel Sr. was an amazing corner for the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. That's where he cemented his Hall of Fame career. And then you look at Asante Samuel Jr., panned out in the league, and he's doing really great things. He caught 4 interceptions on everyone's favorite quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. And then now, he's doing, great things. He's ended up doing better than Kelvin Joseph, who was selected a couple picks after Kelvin Joseph. Not everyone's meant to be a Dallas Cowboy, and that's fine. Then another great father-son duo and bloodline is PS1. Pat Surtain Sr. doing his thing out in Miami, Minnesota, being a great pro. Anyone that played with Pat Surtain Sr. knows how great of a player he was and how great of a person he was, most importantly. And, for his son to be like that, and for his son to be really great, go to the University of Alabama and start, ever since he's been there as a freshman, and then for him to be a top 10 selected player. And if it wasn't for Michael Parsons, who was just an absolute monster, he was for sure going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year that year if it wasn't for Micah. But, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but Pat Surtain's are really, both Pat Surtain Sr. and PS2 are both really great. Same thing with Asante Samuel and Asante Samuel Jr. Both really great guys, but we could have gotten, Asante Samuel Jr., and I'm sick, just like Jay Tuck is, when it comes to that. But, things didn't pan out. Now, speaking it from the Noah side, former first-round overall pick, not overall pick, but, former first-round pick, was selected to come in as a slot corner and play in that regime. So really what that means really is that, we're going to have Noah be our 4th, 5th cornerback. He's going to have some special team relegations, and he's going to be doing some things out in special teams. And, of course, Dallas Cowboys are being proactive instead of reactive. They know that, missing those 2 corners or just not having cornerback depth and not having cornerback 2 is the reason why they didn't have the number 1 seed and could have potentially played the Giants in the divisional round instead of the Niners, right? Not saying that it would have panned out like that, but just saying that if we're just imagine if we had the number 1 seed over Philly, because we won those 2 games against the Jaguars and Green Bay Packers that both cornerback 2 got exposed in. And then also, that's why I love what Dallas Cowboys did this all season, including adding Brandon Cooks and developing Jalen Tolbert correctly, because if you had wide receiver 2 going against the Niners, you put up more than 12 points. I don't know what the end result game ends up being, but I'm more than likely to incline that we win that game because we held the Niners in both affairs less than 28 points. We did really great defensively in both games, but specifically the second game, we were a more polished, sound football team, and we were the better team defensively that night. So I love what Dallas Cowboys doing, being aggressive. Right now, I'm going to go over the 53-man roster, not in its entirety because we're going to be here all night if I do go into every single one of them. But what I went over last night which is what's happening today. The 3 quarterbacks are staying are Dak, of course, Cooper Rush, Trey Lance. We did cut Will Grier. Your 4 running backs ended up being Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdle, and Hunter Lepke. So, of course, that means that Malik Davis isn't on the initial 53-man roster. I'll talk about him in a little bit. We are keeping, this year, it looks like 6 receivers, my bad. CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, Gallup, Tolbert, Turpin, Brooks. Your offensive line depth, you already know who your starting 5 is going to be, but your depth pieces are going to be Matt Waletzko. He's probably going to be your right tackle. Austin Richards is going to be your left tackle. And then TJ Bass is going to be your swing interior, where he's going to play either snaps at left guard or right guard. Defensive end ended up being the same. Linebacker room looks a little bit weak right now. I feel like we need to add to it. But I feel like we can't add linebacker because we are holding right now 6 safeties on the roster, with those being, of course, the 3-headed monster and Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Israel Mukuamu, which you need to keep, Marquise Bell, and Wanye Thomas. Those Bell and Thomas are both going to be safeties that play that Jaron Kearse type of role, where they're playing linebacker for you and covering backs at the backfield and everything of that nature. Now, when we're talking about the notable players who got cut or waived, I'm not going into every single one of them. Will Grier did get cut today. I felt like he will get picked up, but at the time of this recording, I don't know where he went. I'm really mad that we let go of Isaiah Land, especially since we're in a dominant passing league. You need as many pass rushers as you can get, and us letting go of Isaiah Land is something I'm not super happy about, because that was something I felt like Dallas Cowboys could not have done, was let him go and test out the waiver market. Jabril Cox, I don't really have the same sentiment as I do for Isaiah Land for him, but I think Jabril Cox is going to be able to make it through waivers. He just hasn't panned out, and like I said last night, I think he's just going to end up being a guy who just doesn't pan out, and that was just a whiff on a 4th-round selection. Malik Davis is going to make the practice squad. I think if in dire situations we need to bring up Malik Davis because a certain back isn't performing, we'll be fine, and we'll be able to retain Malik Davis, in my opinion. And Malik Jefferson is going to be a depth linebacker piece, but I feel like the linebacker we should be filling in right now should be Deion Jones, who did get cut, but the Carolina Panthers this morning, prior to all the cuts happening. So we're going to find out tomorrow morning about the waiver wire and everything of that nature. But like I said, I'm mad that we let go of Isaiah Land. Really, that's like my most frustrating one. And then Matt Fornyak is a little bit of a hair scratcher, knowing that you've seen him play real-life NFL snaps. And, of course, you need offensive line depth, right? Not saying Matt Fornyak is best, but that's somebody who you wish you could have kept around on the initial 53-man roster. But, of course, I felt like Dallas Cowboys could have done some manipulating to get Isaiah Land on the roster. But that's fine, in my opinion, really. Now let's talk about the Trey Lance in his first interview in the, for the Dallas Cowboys. Really, I'm putting the quote up on the screen, but really he said that I can say when I heard the Cowboys, I had a big smile on my face. I've got to learn and earn every opportunity I get, which is true. Trey Lance probably isn't going to be your starter for these next years by Dallas Cowboys. While Dak Prescott is your quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, but Trey Lance for sure is going to make cornerback to a hell of a ride, or for it's going to be a hell of a job for Cooper Rush to keep his quarterback two spot with Trey Lance coming up. And if we can even develop Trey Lance to even get him a consistent floor where he can come in and just be a great starter for you. Not necessarily if he can not necessarily reach the quarterback three, that number third overall pick in the 2021 draft, but he ends up being a really solid quarterback, a quarterback two for you in the league. He just is a really great backup where he can potentially even save your season, if not, at least win you a couple games if your quarterback's out for multiple weeks, not the entire season. I feel like Trey Lance has that capability. But really, what you want to do with Trey Lance is develop him, get that ceiling out of him as much as you can, capped out, and flip him for a first-round pick. So that's why you have multiple first-round picks down the line. But there's many avenues and layers to this Trey Lance situation, which will be for an entire different video. But it's more than just him automatically taking Dak Prescott's job or him being quarterback two. There's layers to this. And really, again, with the Noah Kelvin Joseph trade, it was just 1-for-1. No picks, nothing else was involved. I believe Noah was going to have that similar situation in what Kelvin Joseph was going to do here anyway. Be cornerback 4 to 5. Make it on the roster, do something, proactive and, that can contribute to the football team. He is a former first-round pick. So I felt like we were going to get some contributions out of him. And I love that the Dallas Cowboys even made this move because they know that, of course, cornerback 2 and wide receiver 2 costed them to potentially playing in Arizona last year, right? And, Trey Lance talked about how, he was happy to be here. He already spoke to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott did his already leader type of leadership already, have putting Trey Lance underneath his wing and everything of that nature. Of course, you have a Super Bowl to go win. So, he's not going to necessarily be coaching them every step of the way, but that's for, Shoddy and our quarterbacks coach and everyone else to get their job done. So that's why Trey Lance can be the best that he can be down the line. Then also, 53-man roster. I love it the way it's looking like right now. I just want to go in healthy. I want everyone to go in healthy. All 32 teams. I want everyone to be healthy. But specifically my Dallas Cowboys, because I just want to see us healthy for the first time going into the playoffs where we have everybody and we're not missing anybody, right? So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.